T-Bird fans, we welcome you to a brand new edition of T-Bird Talk. I'm Cloud County Community College Sports Information Director, Toby Nosker. On this week's edition of T-Bird Talk, we will sit down with two sophomore members of the Cloud County Community College softball team, Harley Smith of Onaga, Kansas, and Shaylee Keslar of Clatonia, Nebraska. Sophomore day for the Cloud County Community College softball team is scheduled for this Saturday when the T-Birds are expected to be in action at home hosting Heston College. Cloud County has been off since Thursday, April 17th, after their originally scheduled games for today against Highland Community College were postponed due to inclement weather. Those games will be made up on Monday, April 28th. The Cloud County softball team is currently on a 3-game win streak after they swept a doubleheader against Independence Community College in Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference play last week. The Cloud County offense combined for 25 runs on 27 hits as the T-Birds won Game 1 12-4 in 5 innings and followed that with a 13-3 win in 5 innings in Game 2. The T-Birds' offense was productive all afternoon, amassing 15 extra base hits, with 6 batters finishing with 3 hits or more. Sophomore Camille Stauffer led the charge with 3 home runs across the 2 games. Stauffer finished the afternoon a combined 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored and 8 RBIs. For her efforts, Stauffer was named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Division II Softball Player of the Week. She batted .667 at the plate last week with a .692 on-base percentage and a .583 slugging percentage. Stauffer finished the week with 13 RBIs on 8 hits with 5 runs scored, while also drawing 1 walk. Now, this marks the second time this season that Stauffer has been recognized as the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Division II Softball Player of the Week after previously winning the award on March 5th of this year. Against Independence, Cloud County staked an early 1-0 lead in the opening game when freshman Emily Johnson led off the second inning with a double and later scored on a passed ball. The T-Birds then posted 7 runs on 6 hits in the bottom of the 4th. Stauffer clobbered a 2-run home run with 1 out in the 4th. Shaylee Keslar and freshman Haley Garcia both added RBI doubles in the frame, while freshman Bella Santon added a 2-run scoring single. Santon later stole home in the inning. Now, Independence managed to trim the deficit to 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning, but the T-Birds put the game away in the bottom half of the 5th, scoring 4 more runs on 5 hits. Freshman Berkeley Curtis had a run-scoring double. Sophomore Paige Muller drove in Curtis and Keslar on another double, while Santon ended the game with a walk-off single that scored Muller. Santon finished Game 1 against Independence 2 for 4 with 1 run scored and 3 RBIs. Stauffer was 2 for 2 with a home run, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Muller also had 2 RBIs, while Curtis, Garcia, and Keslar finished with 2 hits each. Sophomore right-hander Brecken Whitney earned the win in the circle. Whitney allowed 4 runs on 7 hits with 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Muller then guided the team to the victory in Game 2, throwing all 5 innings and allowing 3 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits, while walking 2 and striking out 3. In the second game, Cloud County broke a 1-1 tie with 8 runs in the bottom of the second inning. Santon got the scoring started with a triple that drove in Keslar and Garcia. A double by sophomore Harley Smith scored Santon, while freshman Malia Coster brought home Smith on a double of her own. Following a base hit by Johnson, Stauffer blasted a 3-run home run to give the T-Birds an 8-1 advantage. The scoring continued for Cloud County. After Keslar reached for the second time in the inning on a 2-out double, freshman Kia Stokes drove her in on a double of her own. The Pirates were able to get 2 runs back in the 3rd on back-to-back RBI hits, but the T-Birds put the game out of reach with 4 more runs in the bottom half of the inning. Johnson scored Smith on an RBI double before Stauffer drilled her 3rd home run of the day with a 3-run shot that scored Coster and Johnson. Stauffer is the current team leader in home runs with 5. She also leads the team in RBIs with 36 on the season after going 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 runs scored and 6 RBIs in Game 2. Smith went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and 1 RBI. Johnson also finished 3 for 3 with a double, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Santon had a 2-hit performance with a triple and 2 RBIs, while Garcia, Keslar, Coster, and Stokes added 1 hit each. Cloud County has moved to 13-25 overall and 4-12 in Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference action. The T-Birds will continue conference play when they host Heston College this Saturday starting at 1 p.m. The game is scheduled to be played at the Cloud County Community College softball field, and a live stream of the games will be available at the T-Birds Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. It will also be Sophomore Day, as 8 sophomore members of the Cloud County Community College softball team will be honored during their final home game. Today on T-Bird Talk, we will visit with 2 of those sophomore players, Harley Smith and Shaylee Keslar. This is T-Bird Talk.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
This week on T-Bird Talk, an opportunity to visit with 2 sophomore members of the Cloud County Community College softball team, as the Cloud County Community College softball team nearing the end of the 2025 regular season, and sophomore day, I should say, scheduled for this Saturday when the T-Birds softball team will be in action at home, matching up with Heston College. A 1 o'clock start from the Cloud County Community College softball field, and of course, we'll stream the games for you live on the T-Birds Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. Joining us, as I said, 2 sophomore members of the T-Birds softball team. We're joined by Harley Smith from Onaga, Kansas, and Shaylee Keslar from Clatonia, Nebraska. And I appreciate the 2 of you taking time to come on and to visit with us. And I want to talk about first kind of your journey to Cloud County, because I know you both took different routes getting here than most, and we'll highlight that in just a second. Harley, let me begin with you, though. Just tell me a little bit about a love of softball first. At what age did you start playing softball?
I started playing softball probably around when I was 10 years old for a rec team in my hometown, and then shortly after, my love grew, and I actually played rec ball for like a town over Soldier, and then that opened up doors for me to get into travel ball with that coach. And then ever since then, I've been playing travel ball, and then I ended up playing for my high school.
Did you grow up playing other sports as well, or was it just softball?
In high school, I also played volleyball, and then while I was growing up, I used to do competitive dance.
What was it about softball, though? Why did you stick with it, and why did you like the game of softball?
I liked softball over everything else because of one of the people. The people were always so great to me, and then there's just something about softball that's so competitive, and I really liked that.
What positions did you play growing up?
Growing up, I mainly pitched, and then as I got older, I started playing third a lot more.
And I want to talk about your journey here to Cloud, because I know you took kind of a longer route. At any point, though, in high school, had you given much thought about if this was going to be something that maybe you could do at the next level, or were you wanting to continue to play in college?
During high school, I was just ready to be done playing softball. I actually didn't play travel ball my senior year summer because I was just kind of burnt out of it, and I was just ready to be done. So I just had goals of going on for schooling, and I never gave softball like a second thought.
And you ended up attending first another community college, right?
Yes, I attended Butler Community College.
But you worked around the softball team there, correct?
Yeah, I actually got like a pretty unique experience there where I was able to get some of my schooling paid for and be a softball manager, which just opened up a lot of doors for me to meet people, and then also just being around softball but not getting the opportunity to play just kind of made me miss it. So that's when I reached out to Coach Ed Dugan to see if I could get to play here. So
tell me about those initial conversations with Cloud. Why Cloud? How did it, Cloud County itself enter the picture for you?
Cloud was just really close to home for me, and that was something I wanted. I didn't want to go far from home. And I kind of just reached out to him, and he was interested right away, so I didn't really look anywhere else.
So you end up attending Cloud County last year, and you end up earning a starting spot playing shortstop. This year, you made a change, and we'll talk about that as you've taken over defensively at third. Are you glad, though, that you gave softball another chance and another shot?
Yeah, I'm really happy I did. Last year when I was here, I didn't necessarily have that same feeling. I didn't even know necessarily that I wanted to come back this year. But with a coaching change, Coach TJ and Coach Mo, they've really helped me kind of find my love for softball again, and I'm really happy that I'm here. I
want to talk about that change and playing under Coach Segabart here in just a second, but let's bring Shaylee Keslar into the conversation. So Shaylee, as I mentioned, you grew up in Clatonia, Nebraska, and I'm assuming you grew up playing softball throughout your childhood?
Yeah, I started when I was around 5. I moved up from T-ball to 8U, which was coach pitch, kept playing for my rec team, like our town league, and then once I turned 10, I started playing on travel ball teams and then played on travel ball teams up until I aged out.
Did you play other sports too growing up?
I played basketball and I did track.
Had you given much thought or consideration throughout your high school years about, hey, I'd love to be able to continue to play after I graduate from high school?
Throughout high school, I knew I wanted to give myself the opportunity to play at the college level, but wasn't sure like what that really looked like in the recruiting process of it.
Prior to coming to Cloud, though, you ended up going first to another school, correct?
Yeah, I went to Heston College.
And you made the decision this past year that you were going to transfer. So tell me a little bit about that process and how did Cloud County Community College enter the picture?
So crazy story, actually. I was neighbors with TJ's cousin, and she had told me that TJ got hired at Cloud as the new softball coach, and she knew I was looking for somewhere new. And she got me in contact with TJ. TJ and I kind of talked. I was kind of already committed somewhere else in Nebraska, so I wasn't crazy about the idea of coming here, but my mom made me visit, and now I'm here.
What was the visit like? And what was kind of your initial thoughts or impressions of Concordia and of the college itself?
I really liked it. Their agriculture program is amazing. Talking to Bill McGuire, he had me really set up with all my classes and everything. I only needed like 26 credits to graduate from here, so he had me set up with that right away. And talking to Coach TJ and Coach Mo, they made it sound like it was going to be a great experience, and I wanted to go somewhere my sophomore year of it possibly being like my last year playing softball to have like a really good experience playing.
Did you feel like you made the right choice now coming here to Cloud?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
The culture here is just amazing. This softball team is completely different from any softball team I've ever been on before. All of us girls get along so well. Like, the team chemistry is crazy. The coaches are amazing. Everything about this experience has just been wonderful.
Harley, can we talk a little bit about the culture change as well? And you kind of went through it, and as you said, a transition took place this past year, and you weren't sure as you ended last season whether you were going to continue on or not. And we don't need to talk about last year, but obviously I know you and the other returning softball players from a year ago had an opportunity to work with Coach Segabart, TJ, who was kind of serving as a volunteer hitting coach, assisting the program. But it sounds like you all were pretty excited when you heard that he was going to get the opportunity to step in as the head coach. So tell me a little bit about that decision for you. And once you heard that Coach Segabart was moving into this role, why did you feel more comfortable then at that stage saying, yeah, I'll come back, I'll continue playing?
I think I felt more comfortable coming back just because I've been around him. I've been around him the year before, and he was always kind of like that positive for us last year when there was a lot of other things going on that maybe weren't in our control. He was always positive in those situations.
Do you feel like you made the right decision returning and coming back for another year?
Yes, I do. I think last year I was just ready to be done, and I was not having fun playing at all. And this year I enjoy playing every single game. I enjoy going to practice, and I think that's largely due to our coaching staff right now and the girls that we have on our team.
Do you feel different too? I mean, I've visited with Coach Segabart, and one of the things that he told me is he felt like, and not in a bad way, but like he felt like there's been a personality shift where maybe you didn't feel like you were enjoying the experience a year ago, but he feels like you're so much more outgoing and just having fun and love being around the game now.
Yeah, I think that's really true. Again, I just think largely due to the atmosphere I'm in right now. It's just so much more positive and an enjoyable place to be.
Shaylee, speak to that for you. And again, we don't need to touch on, your first experience in your first college, but I know you were looking for a more positive experience, and it sounds like largely you feel like you found one here at Cloud. Like, what is it that you've really loved about the experience here?
The coaches, for starters. I've never had two coaches this great before. They're every day, like we come to practice, they're so positive. They're always looking to make us better, push us to the next level. TJ has been a big, big help in like our recruiting process and going on, helping us out with that. So that's been great. And the girls, it's just crazy like how good we all get along and play together. And
well, let me ask as well, because it seems like you and Harley have really hit it off and become great friends. Tell me about the friendship between the two of you. And it seemed like it almost happened immediately. So tell me about being able to bond with Harley quickly.
It started just one day at practice. We were hanging out and we were hitting, and Harley came up to me and she was like, "You want to come to Mexican with me and Paige tonight?" And I was like, "Sure." Paige and I had played against each other in high school, but didn't really know her much. Obviously, no idea who Harley is, but yeah, I love Mexican, so let's go get Mexican. We went there that night. We're there for probably 3.5 hours just talking, and we've kind of been really inseparable since.
You closed the place down, huh?
Yeah, we actually did. It was embarrassing.
Harley, how important is it, though, like, to enjoy the experience, to have teammates that you can have fun with, bond with? Obviously, you're all here, number one, focusing on your studies and what it is that you're going to school for, and then you playing softball, but there's so much downtime, there's so much practice time, there's so much road time that you spend together. How meaningful is that for you to have teammates that you can bond with, relate to, get along with when you're a part of a team like this?
For me, it's really important this year having somebody that I can lean on, especially throughout the season, throughout games. It's nice to have people I'm close with that I can go to when I'm maybe struggling, or people that are there that are excited for me when I do something good. And that's just something I didn't really have as much last year. So this friendship with Shaylee has been really important to me and something that's really helped this year be a lot more enjoyable.
One of the things that Coach Segabart's talked to me about, and in our interviews and, even in the office, he's hoping to change kind of the culture around Cloud County softball. You guys are kind of the foundation of that. Do you feel like you've seen a pretty good shift this year in the culture and where things may go, not just this year, but in years to come?
Yes, 100%. I think there's a complete difference from last year to this year. A big thing that TJ has emphasized on this year is attitude and effort, and just controlling the things we can control. We can't control everything, but we can always do things with a good attitude and good effort. And I think with those two things in mind, like, this program will keep growing and become a really good team in the conference.
Was there anything that he asked of you all as returners, those girls that were here from a year ago coming back this year? Did he ask you guys to kind of help lead in any way, to really kind of set the tone, whether it be in the practice, starting in the fall or into the spring, to kind of step up and be leaders in any way? And is that a role that you're comfortable in?
TJ never really had a conversation too much about it. I think it was kind of just more of a given, and we needed to step up and fill a role here that was needed. Be good leaders, lead by example, shut things down that don't need to be happening. But honestly, the freshmen that we had come in have all been really great, and they didn't really need a lot of guidance to know right from wrong here.
Let me ask you about a change for you, though, moving positions. As I said, you were a starter at shortstop for last year's team. You moved over to third base this year. Was there a conversation there between you and Coach? And did you feel comfortable about taking on this role at third base rather than playing that shortstop position?
Yeah, midway through the fall, TJ had a sit-down conversation with me where he just asked if I would feel comfortable trying out third. Right now, we have a really good shortstop, Malia, and we both just need to be playing defense, so it wasn't going to work for us to both play shortstop. I felt comfortable in this role because the only reason I was playing shortstop last year is there was a need for it. My position all throughout high school, and travel ball was mainly third base. So shortstop was more out of my comfort zone than going back to third base.
Do you feel comfortable with the way or how you have played since making that move from shortstop to third base? Are you pleased with your performance so far this year?
Yes, I'm pleased with my performance this year at third. I think we have a really strong infield this year with Mia playing short and Haley at second, a flip between Emily and Paige at first. Both those first basemen have saved me multiple times, digging balls that I've thrown in the dirt. I just think we all have a really good connection in the infield and have been able to back up our pitchers well.
Let's talk about the outfield, because Shaylee, you've earned a starting spot at center field. So starting there, how do you feel like you have played and performed throughout this season?
Yeah, I think I've done really good. Mo has really helped me this year, like pushing myself to my full limit out in center field and going after balls I really never would have thought were possible for me to get. Bella and Berkeley have been great in the outfield, playing next to me. We communicate really well and have basically turned the outfield into a no-fly zone.
Let's kind of get a sense of how you guys feel like the season itself's gone. And I know there's been some highs, some lows. A tough conference with 4 teams that are currently ranked in the top 25 in the country. So you've run into some really good teams, but you've been on a little bit of a win streak here of late. So Shaylee, kind of just sum up for me as a whole, kind of how you feel like things have gone for the team as a whole.
I think as a team this year, we've done really well. Obviously, there's been some games in there we'd like to have done better, maybe come out with a split or a sweep, but at the end of the day, it's not how it worked. We've done really good against those ranked teams, like really held our competition, and I think have really shown a true culture change at Cloud, and in the next few years, I think Cloud is going to be really good.
Harley, for you, how do you feel like things have gone overall for the team this season?
Like Shaylee said, there are some of those games we do wish we would have came out on top of and, got a few more wins under our belt this year. But I think that against those ranked teams, we've really shown that we can compete and shown that here in the near future, we will be a team to really look for and watch out for.
Do you feel like your game's gotten better as the season has gone along? We talk about a culture change. And kind of the mood and having more fun and the atmosphere. But just from a softball standpoint, have you seen some growth in your own game throughout the 2025 season?
Yes, throughout the season, I've definitely gotten better. TJ over the winter did some defense work with us in the indoor, and then as soon as we could get outside, we're getting ground balls every day. We're hitting every day. So just I think that work in the off season and the lifts and CrossFit have all just paid off and really helped me advance my game and become a little better.
Shaylee, for you, how have you seen your game progress? How do you feel like you've grown throughout this season?
Yeah, definitely 100%. I feel that I've gotten a lot better. Like Harley said, with the off season, we did a lot of things, lots of conditioning, lots of CrossFits that sucked, but at the end of the day, definitely made us better. As outfielders, I think we've gotten a lot of help too with this offseason. When we do BP, we are really challenged in the outfield going after balls and getting to as many balls as possible. I think that's really helped a lot of us become better and get better in testing our limits and knowing which balls we can get to.
In just a moment, I'm going to close out with what I call our final 4 questions. So I have 4 questions that I want to ask of each of you. But before we get to that, first, Shaylee, you kind of mentioned it a little bit ago, but what is it you're majoring in during your time here at Cloud?
Animal science.
And for Harley, what are you majoring in?
Criminal justice.
So what does the future hold? Your time here at Cloud County is about to come to an end. Are you interested in still playing softball and continuing at the next level? Where do things kind of sit for you guys today? I'll let Shaylee go first.
I am looking at a couple of places. The other day, actually, Harley and I both visited Bethany, and the coach there offered both of us, so we are looking there. And then I definitely do kind of still want to play. There's still that love there, and I feel like I'm not finished yet. So,
Harley, for you, obviously, you've been talking to schools. You're still interested in playing?
Yes, I'm still interested in playing softball, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if that wasn't what was in the future for me. I want to finish my degree in criminal justice and then hopefully go into law enforcement. So
Why law enforcement? Why is this something that you're interested in for a career?
I was originally an elementary education major, and I just found that really wasn't for me. It wasn't something I had a passion in. So over the summer, over last summer, I kind of reached out to a few people in law enforcement and was able to do a few ride-alongs, and it was just something that piqued my interest about it, and I've been interested ever since.
Before we get to the final 4 questions, I've got one more for you, and Harley, I'll let you begin again. You've been here at Cloud, though, for 2 years, and again, your time as a T-Bird is about to wrap up. Less than a month in school remaining. What are you going to miss the most about Cloud County Community College? Whether just being at the college, the people you interact with, the softball team, whatever it is, what do you feel like you're going to miss most about going to school here?
Honestly, I think it will just be the people, coaching staff, teammates, professors. Spencer Farha has been a really good professor that I've had over the last 2 years. It's really helped me through school here.
Shaylee, I know your time a little shorter than what Harley spent here, but what kind of a year, what kind of an impact has the college had on you, and what do you feel like you're going to most miss about being a T-Bird and going to school at Cloud County?
Yeah, like Harley said, I'm really going to miss the people. This environment and culture has just been great and so good to me. The girls on the team, our coaches, the people over on the ag side, Bill McGuire and Adele Saad, they have been my teachers throughout this whole year, and they have just been amazing to me.
Very good. Well, I'm going to close out with what I call my final 4 questions. So I'm going to ask you each these 4 questions. They're not going to be about you, so you're done talking about yourself. But instead, I want you to talk about your teammates, because we're going to play a game of who's most likely to. So I'm going to throw out 4 different questions, and each of you just give me your feelings, who on the team, and I'll even let you throw the coaches in if you want to throw the coaches into the equation. But I'll ask you 4 who most likely to questions. Shaylee, I'll let you go first. Who on the softball team is most likely to be the person that is always late?
I'm going to have to say Coach Mo.
Really? Why
Yeah.
Coach Mo?
I think she has to work late sometimes.
She's got a built-in excuse?
Yeah.
Harley, for you. You actually raised your hand when I first asked this question to Shaylee. When I said who's most likely to be late, you were signifying yourself. Who's most likely, or you had an answer. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. I thought maybe you were telling me you were most likely to be late. No, you had an answer already. Who's most likely to be late?
The first person that comes to mind for me is Maddie Mack.
Why Maddie McIntyre?
She just has been late a lot.
She's got a pattern of it?
She's always the last person to show up, but never late, just the last person to show up.
All right, Harley, I'll let you do question number 2 then. Who of the softball team is most likely to be the life of the party?
I'm going to go with Emily Johnson.
Now, why Emily? Why does she stand out to you?
She's just a very positive, outgoing, goofy person.
What about for you, Shaylee? Who would you say is the life of the party?
I'm going to have to go with me and Harley.
Now, this is something I've heard from Coach. He told me coming into this to expect a lot of laughs. Are you guys always joking around, goofing around?
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. Shaylee, I'll let you answer. Who out of everybody on the softball team, we'll do a little more positive one, but who would be the person that would drop everything to help out a stranger, a friend, a teammate? Who's the most helpful? Who would be that person?
Brecken Whitney.
Now, why Brecken?
Brecken is just probably the most outgoing person I've ever met in my life. She's always willing to help people and just go that extra mile for people.
Harley, you said immediately, I've got one. Wait, can I say 2? Who do you have in mind?
2 people come to mind for me. The first one would be Mia and then Paige. They're both just super sweet girls and always wanting to go the extra mile to help anyone.
All right, last question. Final one of the day. Out of everybody on the softball team, Harley, who would you say is most likely to give the best advice?
For me, I'm going to have to go with Camille. She's always picking people up in the dugout. Even when she's just DHing, she's always cheering everyone on. And like where somebody's not hitting, she's always up there trying to encourage them, help them out.
Shaylee, for you, who would you say is most likely to give the best advice?
Gonna have to go with TJ. He's a great coach. He's always there helping us, batting and everything, outfield, for me personally. TJ, he has an open door policy, so we can always go into his office, whether it's something serious that we need to talk to him about or a cool magic trick that we have. He's always willing to talk to us, which is really great to know that you can have that in a coach.
I witnessed this cool magic trick this week. I wasn't going to bring it up on the podcast. We might have to do a video version so you guys can show off the magic trick sometime. That'll be for another day. I said final 4 questions. We'll end it right there. Harley, Shaylee, thank you guys so much for coming on and being a part of the show. We appreciate it.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 early bird scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
My thanks to Cloud County Community College sophomores Harley Smith and Shaylee Keslar for being our guests this week on T-Bird Talk. Best of luck to the Cloud County Community College softball team as they enter into the final week of the regular season, beginning with a pair of games at home this Saturday when the T-Birds will host Heston College. The Cloud County Community College baseball team opened a 4-game Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Series against Colby Community College on Wednesday. Sophomore Cam McLeod drove in 3 runs, and freshman Caden Butke scored 3 times as the T-Birds beat the Trojans 5-1 in Game 1. The second game of the doubleheader between the T-Birds and the Trojans was paused in the top of the 3rd inning, with Cloud County leading 3-1. Lightning was detected before the start of the 3rd inning at Young Memorial Field. After a delay of more than 40 minutes with inclement weather in the northwest Kansas area, the game was paused. No decision has been made on when the 2 teams will resume play. Both teams are off today and Friday. The T-Birds are set to host Colby for 2 more games this Saturday, part of the Cloud County Baseball Alumni Reunion Weekend at Lee Doyen Field in Concordia. This week, T-Bird redshirt freshman Matthew Evans has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference West Division Player of the Week. A native of Ontario, Canada, and a transfer from the University of Nebraska, Evans batted .529 last week with a 1.059 slugging percentage, helping the Cloud County baseball team earn its 5th conference series win of the season by taking 3 of 4 games against Butler Community College. Evans had 9 hits with 2 home runs, a triple, and a double in the series. Evans, who had 18 total bases, also tallied 5 RBIs and scored 6 runs with 2 stolen bases. Now, this is the first KJCCC Player of the Week honor for Evans in his career. The Cloud County Community College women's track and field team has risen to number 3 in the latest United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association National Outdoor Ratings Index released this week. The T-Birds moved up 1 spot from their previous ranking of number 4. Cloud County took home 3 first-place finishes and established 3 new school records at the 102nd Kansas Relays hosted by the University of Kansas last week. Sophomore Rafiatu Nuhu has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Women's Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week. This is the first outdoor award for Nuhu and the 4th award for the T-Bird women's track and field team this outdoor season. Nuhu ran 3 400-meter races between the prelims, finals, and the anchor leg of the 4x400-meter relay. Nuhu helped the Cloud County women set the number 1 time in the NJCAA in the 4x400-meter relay by recording a first-place finish in a new school record time of 3:38.84. She also captured a first-place finish in the women's 400-meter run in a time of 52.85. The Cloud County Community College men's track and field team is ranked number 17 in the latest National Outdoor Rating Index. The T-Bird men competed in both the Kansas Relays and the Kansas Wesleyan University Coyote Classic last week. Now this week, Cloud County will once again compete in 2 meets. the Fort Hays State University Alex Francis Classic on Friday, and the Rock Chalk Classic, hosted by the University of Kansas on Saturday. You can keep on top of everything that's happening in Cloud County athletics by visiting the Cloud County Athletic website at cloudtbirds.com. And new episodes of T-Bird Talk drop each Thursday, so make sure you're subscribing to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast platforms. T-Bird Talk is a production of the Cloud County Community College Athletic Department.